Hello, and welcome to the Weekly Scroll Podcast. My name is Ryan.
And I'm just happy to be here.
And this is kind of episode 200
here
on the Weekly
Claps.
Scroll Podcast. Yeah. So we're doing something a little different, I guess. So how's it going, buddy? Happy 200, kind of.
Happy 200. Our fun, little 4-week break we had before our 200th episode.
Well, you were doing a little bit of a little shuffle.
I did. I switched a bunch of jobs. Everyone knows I have more than one job, and I was working several at once while there was a carryover, and then I immediately got very sick. So I feel 70% today, 75% actually. I'm way on the up and up, but yeah. So life's calming down, I hope.
There you go. I hope so. Well, and the jobs you have now are better than the jobs you had before.
Oh, they're way better, and they're more fun. And I did get yelled at work by, not yelled at, I had a coworker snap at me and raise their voice at me the other day. It was really crazy.
Were they valid? Was it a valid raise of the voice?
I think that they were incredibly stressed out, and I made a comment that I was like, damn, you didn't have to do that. That's literally what I said. Or maybe I didn't say damn. Maybe I said, you didn't need to crank it that far. I was talking about the grinder, and they flipped on me. And we're coworkers and equals, and we're allowed to disagree with each other, and I think that's fine. I wasn't overly serious or angry when I said it. But they flipped on me, but they've been really stressed out. We've been incredibly busy because I live in Eugene, Oregon, if you want to come kill me, which is a college town. So for the past week, we've had graduation, but on top of that, there's a massive track meet, an annual in town. So there are people flying in, college students flying in from colleges all across the country. So we have been fucking nonstop slam. So I think they are still fairly just overwhelmed, and I think they just took that out on me, which isn't cool. And also, I'm also the type of dude that's just hey, if I say something that's makes you sound like a dick or I'm pissing you off, you should just tell me, because I'll believe you, and I'll apologize. There's no need to kind of snap at me and kind of start to raise your voice. I also don't really respond positively to that, but yeah. But other than that, the job's been great. But the second job's cool too. I only do it 2 days a week. It's just a little bartending gig. But yeah, things are fucking sick, dude.
Better jobs that pay more and you work less hours.
I know. Yeah, I work way less hours now. This week's actually kind of my first week because I took some extra shifts last week too, which also may have added to me getting sick. But it's my first week of my regular schedule, so I'm I'm fucking cooling, man.
You're fucking cooling. Yeah. That's cool. I mean,
how are you, buddy?
Hopefully it gets, literally the same as always. Nothing has changed at all. But our show is going to, how about that segue? So episode 200, we've decided, so what the fuck are we doing today, right? We're going to talk about, how we're going to switch up the show a little bit. We're going to change up some of the format. We're going to change up some of the content. And then we're going to talk about just some of the games we've gone over in the past. What we consider to be the best / our favorite games. We couldn't really decide on which one of those. And what we consider some of the most underrated games that we've looked at. And considering our entire show is basically about underrated indie games, it's kind of hard to pick. That's kind of what we do all the time. But we're going to pick the tops, in our opinion, that really flew under the radar, that should be played by a lot more people and talked about by a lot more people. We're going to go over those. We have about 3 or 4 each of our best / favorite, and then we have I think 3 or 4 each of our underrated. But do you want to talk about the changes first for the people that actually listen to the first 30 minutes before they turn us off, or what?
We should do that.
Yeah. So
the people put us on for their cats when they leave them alone,
Yeah, or half listen at work. Yeah, so we're gonna be switching up the show a little bit. So what we do now, what our normal thing is we bullshit for a little bit. We intro a game. Then we read through the entire game together, myself and Hunter, really just picking through it. And then afterwards we rate it based on some metrics. And for a long time, I really liked that. And I understood, we both understood that doing 2-hour episodes where we just read through a book isn't everyone's cup of tea. But we also didn't give a fuck because this is a hobby and it's what we enjoy doing. But without getting too deep into it, man, the indie space is chalked as fuck right now. In my opinion, probably one of the worst it's been since I got into TTRPGs, probably over a decade. And
I'm just like not on Blue Sky anymore. Like I just stopped getting on Blue Sky.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to see what you guys are talking about.
Yeah. So if you really want to hear my opinions on why, hop into our Discord and ask me. But realistically, I'm the kind of person who loves something like 110%. And will defend it way longer than it needs to be defended. But then as soon as like I really see it for what it is, I hate it 150%, right? And I don't want to do that with TTRPGs. I really enjoy TTRPGs. I'm just getting burnt out on the culture of the indie space right now, which is terrible. In my opinion, the only one that I'll really give on screen right now is that there's not really a hobby space in TTRPGs anymore. And I want to remind people that hobbies are things that you do for fun and enjoyment when you're not at work. So feeling that you need to monetize every single bit of your enjoyment is a detriment to your life and a detriment to the TTRPG space. You don't have to charge money for everything. If you get enjoyment just making it and then sharing that with other people, that is a valid way to exist in the space.
Yeah.
And don't like you're like we can have a whole conversation on if you make a game, are you a game designer? Not here, not now. But if you enjoy making games, you're allowed to share them without feeling that you have to have a Kickstarter every 2 months or that you have to like put a value on it because people are encouraging you to charge money for your game so they can charge more money for their games, right? You're allowed to just be a hobbyist.
Yeah,
like,
I do love the post that was like, you should charge money for your games. Because you giving them away for free means that it's harder for me to sell my games. It's like, well, that's really a shit take, honestly.
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
a really fucking terrible take.
What a fucking shit take. Like, listen, if you want to charge money for your games, that's absolutely a personal decision. And I think my issue is that like the space it was like part hobby and then part like trying to do the thing and like get Kickstarters up and running. And now everything is just the Kickstarter up and running part. And there's
people's
not a
very
lot of like,
first people's very first thing they ever created, they're popping out as like a $10,000 Kickstarter, and it's like, bro, nobody knows you, and you're doing like the 800th Borg hack, and you want a $10,000 thing for it. It's just like, come on, man. Like you're allowed to put out ash cans. You're allowed to just enjoy the things that you make. Like it's okay. Like you don't have to like, you know, participate in capitalism in order to enjoy a hobby, you know? Anyway, and this is a hobby for us. That's why we can say whatever the fuck we want about anything with no obligations or anything.
We're not even real. We're AI, so.
Well, we're definitely fuck AI. But we're like, this costs us money. This stream and buying the things to do and everything, it costs us money. We definitely don't make any money off of this. Because it's a hobby for us, and that's what we're going to continue to do. So basically, how we're going to switch it up, though, is that we're just basically going to have more fun with it. Because I think for a while now, we haven't really been having a ton of fun with it. We're going to stop doing read-throughs on the show. We're going to read through on our own, and then we're going to have more discussion. We're going to do more like we did with, what was the episode we did recently? Like with, I mean, we did do a read-through of Violence, but it's going to be kind of more like that, where we
didn't read all of it. We just jumped around.
We actually did, but it's like only 3 pages long or whatever. So, but the actual game system, I mean, we're going to stop doing read-throughs. We're going to read through on our own, take notes, and discuss it more. We are still going to do ratings when we do tabletop games or tabletop role-playing games, but this is going to change, and I should remember to change it. It's the Weekly Scroll TTRPG podcast. For any of you eagle-eyed listeners out there, if you've noticed any of our profile pictures, it has changed a while ago. We are going to be the Weekly Scroll Tabletop podcast, and that means we are going to not only do tabletop role-playing games, we're going to start doing war games and skirmish games and board games, and even in tabletops, we don't really do solo games. We haven't for a long time because our format didn't really fit. We're going to start doing solo games. We're going to start doing adventures, even though I don't fuck with adventures. I mean, because honestly, if you haven't written 10, you're a piece of shit anyway. But
people won't understand that reference, so like
plenty of people will understand the reference. But
I know, I'm just like, there are gonna be people who hear you say that and think that like, well, that's a really shitty take, and you're right, that is a really shitty take.
Sarcasm. I don't use them. I know you do. So we're gonna start talking about adventures.
I play a ton of adventures, and I have a lot of opinions on them.
Yeah. And yeah, we're actually gonna start talking about tables. Oak versus cherry. You know, like which is the right table? Because there's a right answer. Right? Tables matter. But maybe we'll talk about maybe we'll bring up some dead discourse and have whole conversations about it. But what we also want to do is bring on guests again. We haven't done guests for a while, but that's because we don't really want to do guests where like just people hit us up and then we like promo their games or whatever. We want to have like discussions about stuff. So like if we want to talk about like why like Roll Under is the best or whatever, you know what I mean? Or like we want to talk about like specific topics within the space. Like let's talk about mechs, for example. We're going to bring on someone who's maybe written a mech game, and we're going to discuss like mechs in popular culture and mechs in tabletop and mechs in ttrpgs. And have discussions around things. And at the end, if that happens to mean a little bit of promotion, it's gonna be like the Tonight Show, where they like just bullshit with somebody for 30 minutes, and that 5 minutes, you know, they play a clip or whatever. We're gonna do a little bit more stuff like that. I've been really getting into skirmish and war games. You know, a lot of the Inc. 28 scene and stuff. So definitely going to start talking about that. We're going to start doing streams on the show that don't end up in any podcast format. Like if we want to start video gaming on the show, especially late in the evening, if we want to start hobbying on the show where we talked about like kit bashing war bands live on the show, and then actually hopping on and playing the games. We can bring on like, you know, I've talked to some guests on the side, some people we've talked to before that might come back and specifically to talk about like the stuff that we're doing. So maybe we'll even play some Last War here on the stream, whether that ends up in pod or not. So people can have more. I'll bring back the for those that actually ever saw it, the TWS After Dark episodes that never existed because I would delete the VOD after. You got to be there or you weren't there. So we're just gonna have a lot more fun with what we're doing. We're gonna expand the scope of what we're doing. We're gonna talk a lot about the things that we haven't really talked about before because the format didn't fit. We also want to really start going over old fun games, you know, stuff from the 70s and 80s that we didn't really want to read through but would really like to discuss. You know, obviously we're going to talk about things like Traveler, you know, fucking Boot Hill, like whatever. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna bring people on that enjoy those games, and have maybe made more modern hacks of them so we can discuss those a little bit more in depth. So that's what else. I feel like there's other stuff that we talked about. Was that kind of it? That's kind of what we're doing. We're cutting out the read through. Episodes are going to get shorter. We're going to have more fun discussion, and we're going to really expand the scope of the things that we look at outside of the TTRPG space and even within the TTRPG space. Like I said, we talked about solo games where we actually, you know, we will individually play the game and then come on and talk about it. Oh, we're also maybe going to start being meaner. We don't review games we don't like. Maybe we will.
Maybe we'll start.
Maybe we'll just be like, hey, it's fine and good on you for making something, but I don't like it. We'll see. But yeah, solo games, adventures. For people that have asked for adventures forever, you're going to get some fucking adventures. And for people that asked for solo games.
I was asking for adventures, honestly. So
that's what's going to change. Oh, the question I wanted to ask you, right? So this is episode number 200. It's actually episode number 266. Which is crazy
number,
266. But so what I've done and what is fucking annoying to me, the way that I have to like output it through like Spotify for creators or whatever, which is what I put the episodes out on and then it shoots it to other platforms. In order to like kind of delineate those things, I put it as like season 1, season 2, season 3. Then I have to go back and find which one was last season 3 to put, you know, not Cat Chats episode 13 is actually season 3 episode like 27. You know what I mean? Because we have, I numbered side quests differently, not cat chats differently, TWS plays differently. I'm going to stop doing that.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. You should stop doing that.
Yeah. So, but the question then is our next episode number 201 or is it number 267?
I think this is episode 200 and next episode is 277.
67.
67. Yeah.
That's a question I wanted to ask. I was like, I think we should just like make the number the real number, and I'll just put like a little thing that says you didn't miss it. That's just everything else, and now we're just numbering everything the same. So if number 267 is an actual play, it's going to be called episode 261, actual play of whatever the fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I'm fine with that. So
yeah. So that's also going to be the change. Is you're going to notice number go up. But that's kind of what's going to happen. Like I said, the biggest change I think that people are going to notice is we're not going to do the read through anymore. We're gonna cut that in half. We're gonna fill that up with more discussion, but we're still gonna do the ratings. I love the ratings. I think they're good.
We'll still reference pages and stuff. We'll give visual, like when we do go through our regular rating system, we'll be like, oh, this is kind of what we're talking about, and we'll show examples on the screen. But we're not gonna, you know.
Yeah, because I'm definitely going to take notes with like using our metric as like the guide to like, okay, when we talk about art, this is the part I like. When we talk about the rule set, this is the part that I want to discuss. You know, things like that. We're just not going to nitpick through every page anymore. If there's a bunch of stuff I want to get nitpicky with, I'll point it out. But we're not going to read through the entire thing because you know how to read, most of you. I hope. I mean, it's America, so it's a shot in the dark there. Also, we just want to have like just talk about the games more than read the games, which again is something we could have been doing for a long time, but we didn't want to, and now we do. And then again, the second biggest change is we're going to start talking more tabletop, like board games and skirmish and war games.
Yeah.
Mostly, I still want to lean into the indie side of that scene, so don't expect like Warhammer 10th edition or Horus Heresy 3.0 on here. Night Lord's best boys, by the way. But expect things that are kind of like Inc. 28. We might discuss Inquisitor. We're going to bring people on and talk about Snack 28 and stuff like that. So and I have some guests in mind for that kind of side of the space too. So
we're also really going to start pumping out the 5e content. What's the new version called? I never remember. 1 D&D.
Who gives a fuck?
Number one, brother.
I can't even begin to pretend to make a joke about that garbage bullshit.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be sick. So,
I don't even remember what. Is it this? Yeah, a couple other things that are going to change. Listen, I'm done fighting it. We've said forever. We are hobbyists again. We make no money off of this. I'm tired of review copies in my fucking inbox, even though every possible way to contact us says no review copies. I'm done fighting it. If you want to send us shit, send us shit. We'll read it. Maybe. Don't send us your 5e shit. Honestly, I'm not even going to respond to you.
Do not send us 5e sheet. We will not look at it at all. It will immediately be deleted.
Yeah. But if you want to send us review copies of stuff, we'll take a look at it. If we like it, we'll at least, again, since we're not doing like 2-hour read-throughs of games anymore, we can discuss stuff. We might even have episodes where we just like do quick 5-minute stuff through like a bunch of things. But if you want to send us review copies of things, I'll take the tags off, email us, send us whatever. But as we've always said, and one of the biggest reasons we didn't do review copies is I own all of it already. And if you were going to come on and we were going to talk about your game, I buy it, because to us, supporting creators means also financially supporting creators.
Yeah. I mean, frankly, we're still probably going to buy the game. So,
and that's the thing, is that if you send us a review copy and we decide to actually like in-depth discuss on the show, I'm gonna send money. Like, I need a way to be able to like also purchase the PDF or something, you know what I mean? Because I think that is something that's important to us. Again, like if we have the means in order to help financially, which I am, privileged enough to have those means, we're going to make sure we support financially the creators of the stuff that we talk about. But I'm just done fighting it because it's fucking annoying. I'm tired of like basically copy pasting this email that says, thank you so much for sending us the Drive Through RPG link, but sorry, we don't take review copies or whatever. I'm tired of it. If you want us to look at your stuff, we're going to be brutally honest about it. But send it, go for it.
Cool.
What else?
Now on to the episode.
Yeah. Are those all the big changes? That's what we got?
Yeah. Any more that come, you'll figure it out when you see it. So
yeah. So that's it. So expect some changes here on the show. Yeah, starting next week, we're going to be doing a tabletop role-playing game next week, but with a new format,
Also, get ready for our bikini and hot tub streams. So
yes, yeah. We'll put that category up. bro, I can blow up a kiddie pool in here, you know.
That's nice. Do they still allow that on Twitch?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it has its own category.
I thought they like banned it for some reason. I don't know.
No, they banned a lot of weird stuff, but you know, a lot of people haven't really been pushing the metas super hard anymore.
Yeah, well,
IRL is the new Twitch meta, so we got to start doing some IRL streams, you know.
Yeah, you start walking around Tokyo and bothering people, and
yeah. Japan specifically really loves tourists right now. They're streaming.
Yeah, I'm sure they really love it.
I would fucking murder somebody to go watch the fucking Sumo Basho, the Grand Basho over there. The next one starts next month, baby. Fucking Onosato. Yoko Sato.
I love Onosato, dude.
Dude, you don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I really don't.
Bro, the drama since January with Yokozuna's and now with Hosh and Onosato, you are missing out so fucking much. Anyway, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about best / favorite games that we have looked at from the beginning, from the very fucking beginning. I don't remember how many games we've actually reviewed. I was going to count it because remember when we weren't giving Zine score, so we would do like 2 an episode?
I remember that, yeah. So
that was really dumb and annoying of us. But the rough count of number of games we've looked at is takeoff doubles,
riveting television right now.
About 118 games we have reviewed here on the show.
I feel like it's more than that.
118 games
for 200 episodes.
Bro, I literally have a folder that has the score like image of every game we've ever reviewed, and I just counted
really?
them.
Is that in your Dropbox?
It can be.
Can it be? Thanks.
Yeah. No, so I it says 117, but there's some doubles because remember we changed some scores, and then some of them have 2 tags on it. It's about 118 games.
Well,
that we've reviewed here on the show.
Well, hey, congratulations to us.
Out of 266 episodes, we've done 118 games. I mean, we did a lot of interview episodes, which was weird. We never were going to be a interview podcast. First interview though, Johan Noor.
I blame Johan, honestly.
Yeah, I blame you, motherfucker. No, it was awesome.
That's
and
actually
it was really
so
cool
fair because I did reach out to Johan. I was like, "You want to come on?"
Yeah, and it was awesome. Johan's awesome. Got to meet them in person a couple of times now, and they're great.
They were so nice to us when we met them. They were like, they really treated us like
tall as fuck. I don't know why every motherfucker in the ttrpg space is like 6'5".
They're so tall.
But yeah, I mean we're like 6 foot, but they're just like way taller than us.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
5'6.25". I want you to know we at work the other day we actually measured ourselves, and I'm like, damn, that's short, bro.
Yeah, good thing we have that big dick energy though. You know what I mean?
Not me, bro. It's tiny. I can't even find it. So
I do. So next we're gonna do best. So what we kind of try to do is basically say do your favorite / best 3 and my favorite / best 3, and any doubles we'll get rid of. But we've said this since we reviewed it, and it's the thing that we're always gonna say forever. The best game we've ever reviewed. I think is it technically the highest score we've ever given, or it's one of only 2 games we've ever given a 10 to for rule set. So
I
we're gonna start.
Hold on, hard pause. Where is it?
I mean, mine are right there. I could pull out the entire collector's box set too, but
you do it.
I mean, I'm not getting up. I'm just gonna show the PDF. I can. Since I have the scores here, I can actually pull it up. The first one we're going to look at is Kingdoms from Sovietini. We've said this over and over and over again. It's the first 10 we ever gave out. We did retroactively go back and give we've only given 2 10s for rule set in 118 games. And this is number 1. It's amazing. So we gave Kingdoms a 40. And the only thing we knocked it down. I got a 9 for art and style, a 6 for layout and function. This is back when we were doing layout and function, bro. This is like episode 16 or something like that.
Yeah, I know.
Crazy.
Can't find it. It's somewhere.
Oh,
What
this
a
is
good
one of the
game.
ones that we went back and we originally gave it a 9 and then almost immediately we're like, nah, bro, that's a 10. A 9 for art and style, 6 for layout and function, 9 for rule set and crunch, 9 for originality, and a 7 on value. So
I
it got a
love
40.
I just love like the two different like the zoomed in and zoomed out
Mm.
like kind of zones of play. Like there is this like monster slaying, exploring tabletop RPG, but when you zoom out, it's this like legacy RPG as you play through a family, like multiple generations of royalty. They're dealing with the things that
Well,
royal, the intrigue of court and such. You know,
there's 3 levels of play because
that's three.
actually, right? Because actually you start you have like the actual character you make, which are potentially these like basically like your bloodlines, right? And then
Right.
it's a and at its core it's an Into the Odd game, which is crazy because I also think this could easily be one of the most probably the most underrated game ever written. Like it's
Yeah.
insane.
It's weird it's not more
um
popular.
but Chris McDowell actually referenced it in the front of Mythic Bastionland as like an inspiration. um
Really, that's very
yeah,
funny.
yeah, because it's fucking amazing.
Well, yeah, because it's
um
great.
So basically, you start as like a low blood, a high blood, or a god blooded character. You roll up all of these traits, and then yeah, basically the core game is like the best Souls like combat ever made in a TTRPG because the monsters literally have like combat loops, literally called the loop, and it has an attack pattern, and players can learn the attack pattern and fight them. It's easily the most Souls like TTRPG combat ever. But you start as that, and then you level up to the next. It's not level up. The next kind of like level of play is like you said, this generational family,
Yeah.
right? But the next level up from that is you literally start in what's barely more than the fucking like dark, like not dark
Yeah.
ages, like almost you're in caves with
Yeah.
like a single light, barely able to make swords, and you can literally go through eras to get to like modern technological times. So like it zooms out and zooms out and zooms out in this insane way. The book is gorgeous. The stuff that's in it is like fucked up and awesome. But also when you are doing the generational combat or the generational stuff, it's super PvP where you can send
Yeah.
like political, like basically wormwood to like another group. You can like assassinate people's families, kill their kids so that they can like not have the next generation and shit. It's crazy, and it's all built on a chassis of Into the Odd. It's unquestionably, in my opinion, the best game we've ever reviewed on the show. I believe for you it's the same.
Really a tremendously good game. Like it really is unbelievably good.
And also, I think we didn't even talk about it, but probably also the most underrated game here. Like
Oh,
most
yeah.
people, I've never met someone organically that's ever heard of this game, and that's insane to me.
No, listen, if you're listening to this right now and you pick up anything that we talk about, like you should pick this game up.
Yep.
Especially if you have a good humored table that wouldn't flip the table itself for stabbing each other in the back in the fun way. Like this is an amazing system. It's a lot of fun. The rules are simple. There's a lot of like easy depth to it. Like you can create like like artifact weapons to pass down through generations and
Yep.
like it's so interesting. Also, we didn't talk about the lore though. This world has no sun, so it's literally like a dark world
Yeah.
that you're exploring with very little light and like fighting these monsters. I once again, like I know you already talked about the loop, but I love the loop. It's such a good use of like a video game mechanic um, to help teach your players how to respond to an enemy instead of it just being like I, as the GM, just decide what action it takes every round. It
Well,
makes
not
it feel
only
more
that,
boss fighty.
but yeah, and because it's Into the Odd, the enemy always hits. So, and the enemies, there aren't any like small bad guys. Everything, all the enemies you fight are like boss bad guys.
Yeah,
Every single one. So if you don't figure out the loop and play the game effectively, you will fucking die like
Yeah.
immediately. So it's so fucking the life step. That's what it was. You return from the dark, corpse of extinguished hate in tow. Now your people call to you instead of violence, leadership. They plead for the light of the god kings to guide them. You take seat upon your throne and live a life of simplicity as the quiet years fall as fast as your hair. So that is the thing. And then you do the whole life step thing where you literally roll to, like, if you have kids and like you pass this shit down and stuff. It's crazy. It's so fucking good. So infant, child, young adult, elder, and then there's literally genetics, because you could have, like, one of the options here is the genetics possibilities are 1 through 6. 1 is tragic delivery, mother dies, baby survives. Number 2 is difficult pregnancy, the baby is lost. Number 3 is complications, baby suffers random injury or trauma. 4 or 5 is success, and 6 is twins. So you have a half option of just being fucked on your genetic life path, and like as you like pass on like into the next part of the game. It's ridiculous.
I also like, I like that this game is a little adversarial between the players, but not so much so that it's purely PvP. Like, you do need to decide when to work together, because you want help fighting that monster, but also you do want to kind of fuck each other over, because only one of you can be the God King when that comes up. So
yeah. It's such an incredible game. It's an incredible game. Again, Sophia Tenney, Kingdoms. Don't even know where you can find it anymore. I know that there was a Gumroad, I think, at one point that you could get some stuff on. We should probably have found all the links to this stuff in the I'll if I remember, I'll put it down in the show notes, a link to all of these games so you can find them. So that's Kingdoms. So that's just both of our number ones, period.
Found it.
I'm
gonna drop it in chat.
Okay, drop it in Discord too, so I have it for when I actually do the episode. So what do you want to do next? You want to do one of yours or one of mine?
Let's do one of yours first.
Okay. Let's go with the only other game we've given a 10 to. And that is gonna be
what a great game.
Yeah. That's going to be Necronautilus from World Champ Game Co. From Adam Vass. We have for a very long time, we have said almost from the beginning of the show that we are an Adam Vass Stan podcast. And the coolest fucking thing about that is we started out as just like, especially me, like a diehard Adam Vass fan. I have pretty much everything they've ever made. If you somehow have the extra bits to Babes in the Dark, like the pumpkin stuff or anything like that,
Babes in the Woods.
Babes in the Woods. Yeah, Babes in the Dark. You know what I'm saying, but
I'm saying
we just became. I was just a diehard fan of Adam Vass, and the craziest part is from being just some schmuck to we actually have had Adam on the show, and not only with Adam on the show,
several times.
We went to PAX U and ran the World Champ Game Co. booth because Adam couldn't make it. That's how far we've come as an Adam Vass Stan podcast.
It's so funny. Adam literally sent us a message and was like, "Hey, I can't make it, and I don't know anyone who knows my products better than you two." I'm like, "That's appropriate. We do know them pretty well."
Yeah. So we've gone from being like diehard fans to still being diehard fans, but actually homies with Adam, and that's incredible. That's one of the coolest things about the show that we've done. I'll to be completely honest, we've met a lot of really great people on the show. We've also met a lot of shitty people.
We have actually.
There's a lot of people in this space that you think are cool that really suck.
They really are not cool, and that's why they don't come back on this show.
So Necronautilus is the only other game we've ever given a 10 to in rule set. The score that we gave Necronautilus originally on the show, again with like 2 versions of our metrics ago, was a 43.
Cool.
No, a 44. A 44.
Yeah, 44 is pretty 44.
High. It's tied for the highest we've ever given out.
Yeah.
It got a 10 in rule set, a 10 in originality, a 9 in art and style, an 8 in layout and function, which is our old usability score, and a 7 in value.
It's interesting because like a lot of the stuff that we did really early on, because we did this game very early on, a lot of the other stuff we did, I would be down to go back and re-review and change the scores and stuff. Yeah. But Necronautilus, I wouldn't change the score. Like, no. What an amazing game. What a cool like step away from a traditional like tabletop game, like to manipulate language and memory to create this character and these very odd experiences in this universe of death. And like a really great use of a 2d6 system
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's tremendous.
And like you said, that is what this game is. You act as souls bound to clouds of noxious gas called death agents. They will explore planets inhabited by creatures who have all died in a universe outside of time. Using their words of power, they will act on behalf of the blind god Death to maintain order in the galaxy. Their powers will grow and splinter as they learn about and explore the corporeal life they left behind. So yeah, the 2d6 system is fantastic. The core mechanic is really great. It uses 2d6, but in a really interesting way. It's not like a mixed success game or anything like that. But yeah, the abilities that you have are literally words that you have to use, and it's also part of the kind of like there's like a through line of death agents through a lot of Adam's games. And that kind of started with this. But yeah, you are an incorporeal like soul bound to basically like a gas cloud that's running around like solving problems in a universe of everything that's ever died for death. It's fucking crazy, fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's actually just it's also just insane. So
Yeah, it's an incredible game, and as Hunter said, like actually using words as powers, and like if you succeed or fail, like the words can adapt and change. And like one of my favorite things about the game too is that you kind of start in the middle, right? Because as you gain or lose too many words and things like that, you gain and lose memories and things. And if you lose too much, you become nothing because there's not enough of you left. But if you gain too much back, you actually can no longer be a death agent because you become too corporeal and remember too much of your former life. So like you have to ride like a middle path of not going too high or too low in it, which is super fucking interesting.
Or don't, and discover who your character was and what they did before they died, and then retire them. Like and start new.
It's incredible, and as with most of Adam's works, the art throughout, the layout throughout is all Adam, and every page looks different. There is no standard 2-column. It's every page is laid out as if it's a individual page the entire time. It's just an incredible book. I have both copies. The silver foiled special edition cover one is one of my prized ttrpg possessions.
I don't have that one. That's a really cool one I wish I had.
Yeah, I have it. It's great. But yeah, that's Necronautilus from Adam Vass. That is one of my favorites, one of the best games in my opinion that we've ever looked at here on the show. And again, only one of 2 games we've ever given a 10 to in our opinion for a rule set score. We consider to be like a peak rule set. And yeah, so that's one of mine. So which one do you want to look at for one of yours?
I don't know. Mine are really in no order. So let's do my Kobayashi pick first, I guess.
The Kobayashi pick. All right. What's your Kobayashi pick?
Yeah. So one of my favorite games that we've ever gone over is gonna be Black Sword Hack. A very swords and sorcery tabletop RPG by Kobayashi. I actually don't have the scores pulled up like Ryan because I'm not prepared like Ryan. And I also want
you don't have. I mean, I'm the one that makes all of them, so I have access to all of them in a folder. So Black Sword Hack, top to bottom. That's after we did Flayo, right?
It was after Flayo. It is like Flayo and BSH share a lot of DNA.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell like Flayo, like BSH exists because Flayo existed.
Yeah.
And Flayo is also an incredible game just in and of itself.
It is, yeah.
But Black Sword Hack is definitely all of the best ideas from Flayo kind of distilled down into really fucking good. So Black Sword Hack got a 40 on our score set. And of course I moved it to a different window, so the size of the window changed, so I lost it in here. But so art and style was an 8, layout was an 8, so this is our second iteration of our metric. So art and style 8, layout 8, rule set 8, originality 8, value 8 for a 40.
Yeah, I remember this was a solid all the way through. It's a mechanically a great game. I love the use of usage dice in this,
Mhm.
which I always love when I see it everywhere. I think it's an amazing mechanic. But I love the Doom mechanic in this,
Mhm.
which can really aid you until your Doom die, which is a usage die, runs out, and then you're totally fucked. Character creation in this lets you start with this like very interesting and possibly kind of complicated, story wise, not mechanic wise character. Uh, I think this is just like I love swords and sorcery as a genre,
Mhm.
and I think this game captures what I love about swords and sorcery. I've
Yeah.
run it a couple times. I've run the adventure in the book, and I've run the adventure in the Chaos Crier number zero zine, which they actually just released Chaos Crier number one, I think, like last month.
Yeah.
My phone did
It's right
ring. What are you
there.
talking about? Yeah, which I actually, maybe I'll buy that today. Because I didn't get it yet, and I would like to run it. Although my group specifically said, "Can we not do fantasy RPGs for the next couple sessions?" Which whatever. Yeah,
And that
it's
brings
an
up an interesting. Oh, keep going.
no. Go. What you were say?
Well, that brings up an interesting thing we've talked about numerous times on the show about fantasy and how I
Yeah,
think that uh, when I was a kid, man, I love Lord of the Rings so much, and the older I get, the less I like Lord of the Rings. Um,
not me,
and
brother.
yeah, yeah. Well, so we've talked about this before, like sword and sorcery, and what I call sword and wizardry are very
Yeah,
different. And I
yeah,
think Lord of the Rings, and I don't know enough about fiction stuff, but I feel like fantasy post Lord of the Rings really leaned much harder into sword and wizardry versus sword and sorcery. Sword and sorcery to me is very much like barbarians and
yeah.
sorcerers casting weird
Yes,
esoteric like plane hopping
making
like
deals with spirits to cast spells.
yeah
Like drawing on like dark spirits in the ether and demons, and yeah,
yeah
and that's all in. That's all in this.
yeah
So
entering dreams and like I said opening up rifts in time and
yeah,
portals to other dimensions and shit. And sword and wizardry is very much like Eastern Europe with swords and shields and dudes with pointy hats. And I feel like a lot of like the time portal jumping stuff went away, and a lot of like the making deals with demons and like strange barbarians with different cultures and stuff like all went away to just be this like very white European coded, Lord of the Rings, it's a direction a lot of fantasy went. And I'm really glad things that like Old Moon Quarterly and things like that are really bringing back sword and sorcery style fiction. And not that it ever completely went away, but like repopularizing it. And I think that's really, really great. And Black Sword Hack is a really, really great version of that in the TTRPG space, where if you don't know what sword and sorcery is, this is a
yeah.
really good intro to the kind of like that genre of fiction.
I also really liked the guide in this to building your own like little setting and world to
Oh
play in. I
yeah,
thought it was really good and very valuable. They gave you an example one they built. And the art in this is all the way through is just tremendous. Like it's really looks very good. I think some of my favorite art is towards the end. There's a page near the end that gives a bunch of panels that are like book covers or like posters that of like the Son of Orcus and like adventures and shit.
this one right here. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The Beard
I
Quest, Son of Orcus,
It's
Titania. Yeah,
great. I wish I could get those four as just posters for my room,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. I mean, but if you look at a lot of those old books from that time period, these are
Yeah.
these are what book covers used to look like. Not these like super fucking weird, overproduced character art bullshit. That is on a lot of covers now. Like I don't like Fourth Wing. Like, come on, let's bring some character back to our fucking shit. Let's actually have illustrators and stuff. But yeah. And like probably like an incredible version of Black Hack. We've said this over and over again. Black Hack is an incredible system. Black Hack 2E was just very unnecessary like attempt at a game. But the system of Black Hack is incredible. It's a great
Yeah.
thing to hack with. And yeah, usage eye is just it's a genius mechanic. Like it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So that's Black Sword Hack. Let's look at one of. I need to just bring up two fucking different windows so I can be in the scores. And I forget that sometimes that like when you actually go into like your file windows and shit, you can just pull up multiples of those.
Absolutely.
Like there's times you can I used to like copy and then back and then go to a different folder and paste, and I was like, oh, I can just drag it from one to the other if I'm not a fucking idiot about it. So my next one that I'm going to go over, I'll do this one. I'll save one that is arguably favorite instead of best for last. But Mouse Ritter.
Yep.
Mouse
A
Ritter, the
classic.
Sword and Whiskers role playing game. This game just fucks super fucking hard, and one of my favorite things about it is it's all agesness, right? Like you could have kids play this game easily, or you could have like 40-year-old dudes play this game, 40-year-old anybody's play this game and have the same kind of enjoyment out of it. Like there's no differentiation. It's an incredible. I think it won the Innie. I'm positive it won the Innie for like best family game. But just as a core, it's just an incredible game. It is an Into the Odd game, which is interesting. A lot of the best games on here are Into the Odd games, but we'll talk about that eventually. But my favorite thing about this game, other than that, not mechanically, just like conceptually, is the feeling of size and scope that it brings back to the fiction, right? Because there are so many fucking stories of like one knight defeating a dragon or whatever, that when you're playing like whatever fucking version of the dragon game that you're playing, people don't really fear dragons. Like if a green dragon rolls up, they're gonna try to fight it, right? Which is a fucking ridiculous thing to do, because realistically, and it's not simulationist or whatever, come on, calm the fuck down, a dragon will smoke you. A dragon will smoke you into fucking nothing. And one of the things that I describe about this all the time, and someone said it or it's in the book or whatever, it is not a unique thought to me at all, but the idea of like a human fighting a dragon, people are like, oh yeah. And then you go, okay, well, how about a mouse fighting a cat? And people are like, oh no. And you're like, that is how it should feel when you fight a dragon. And that's the fear that this game brings back. The idea that you are a little bitty mouse in a human-sized world, and all of the things that you're facing is like, you can imagine being a mouse and thinking how scary it'd be to just go across a 5-foot open ground. Because who the fuck knows what bird or cat or person or whatever is going to come fucking snatch you. It brings the fear back into the game and makes the open world feel dangerous.
I completely agree.
Yeah. In a very approachable way, because like little kids for it too. But honestly, like also, I mean, obviously we talked about Into the Odd, which is great. The you know, one of the best things about this game is the inventory system.
Yeah,
no, the inventory system.
Yeah,
where it's actually like the like punch
slots
out card,
that
slots that you can actually physically put. So you could hold a little card that says backpack and then stick it where your backpack goes on your card, on your character sheet, and that is just an incredible thing. And so what is this game? It's a very family-friendly OSR game where you can and will die as tiny little mouse in a human-sized world, in the actual human world. So your swords are needles and your shields are buttons and your helmets are fucking thimbles and shit. Like, it's super fucking cute, but also deadly as fuck. The mechanic system is great. The magic system is great. I'm sorry, the inventory system is great. The magic system is great. It's super clean. It's super consistent. The layout is incredible. But like, the game itself is just so clean all the way through. Everything fits so well together. Everything is explained so well. It's one of the best written games we've ever looked at. It's free. It is completely fucking free.
And like, you know, for those listening, like, you can be, if you're like, well, family friendly, I kind of want to have like dark adventures. Oh, you absolutely can. We had a dark adventure. We turned an adventure very dark by the end, and I got stabbed in the back.
Who stabbed you?
You did.
I did. I stabbed you, motherfucker.
Like Ryan became like a dark magic lord. And I think the canon was that my character survived that and became like a lieutenant under you, but is now like an angry, like vengeful lieutenant.
You became like my right-hand man.
It's like it was a very cool, like, dark lord ending, you know. So
yeah, because there was like lightning bottled up with like a bird skull or something, and like we had to break it out, and like as you were reaching for it, I stabbed you in the back and took it, and then I had already I had something attached to me so that I could control like zombie mice or something. So I
Yeah.
was literally
Yeah.
like a necromancer lightning lord that had stabbed you in the back, and you're like, yeah, I'll lead your armies, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. So it's super. Yeah, it's an incredible game. And again, one of the other things that's great about it, and a reminder to a lot of people in the hobby space, right? This game is completely free. It is completely free. You can go to the website now, download it. Not only that, there is a whole compendium of hundreds of adventures that are all mostly free. The little tokens we were talking about, you can download character sheets. There's literally a free token maker on their website, so you can make any inventory piece that you need. You can make, export, and then actually be able to drop onto character sheets. It's incredible, everything about it. And the box set for this game has sold out like 6 times.
Yeah.
So a reminder to people on the first thing that you made. Yeah, like you deserve a living for the things you create. You're allowed to just be a hobbyist, and if the hobby that you do and the thing that you make generates a community and people that like making stuff for your game, that's how you get like $250,000 Kickstarters, like Karen and things like that. Like you're allowed to just make a thing and enjoy making it, and it could end up being wildly successful. And then you can still support your community by, again, making it free forever, and people will still pay for it. I have bought this box set twice. I have bought the estate box set for the adventures twice. Like I have literally given hundreds of dollars for this game on top of all the adventures. Like
I don't think I have the estate box set. I just have the regular box set.
Oh, I have 2 of them. So, I get all.
You have 2 of something?
Well, what's funny is I bought one, and then they sold out so fucking fast, right? And when I saw there was like 2 left on the website, I just bought another one because I'm like, I'm sure someone will want one, and I can just send it to them if they're like, oh, I couldn't have it. And I'm like, it's $60. I'll go send it to you, But I bought 2 of the regular box sets because there's no fucking way I'm gonna punch out the pieces. So I have a second one that I can actually punch the pieces out of.
I have mine in plastic bags, all the punched out pieces. They're in the box set. So
no, that's number. Oh no, they're. Oh. I also have the original first edition box set there too, which is quite rare. Thank you so much, Andre. Shout out Andre. Andre has hooked me up so much.
Yeah.
I mean, I paid for everything.
I was saying hooked you up as in let you pay for things that weren't on the store.
As in let me pay for things that weren't in the store. Like, yeah, like the yellow version of the Insectiary is something I wanted forever. And I was like, hey, are you ever going to reprint that? He was like, oh, I got one. Just like send me $5, I'll shoot it to you. I was like, fuck yes, Andre. Anyway, and for those that don't know, Mouse Ritter, first of all, Tomb of 1,000 Doors is finally shipping from the homie Matt Morris, Man of Dawn.
You still want to say Mana Ramp Matt?
Mana Ramp Matt, yeah. But apparently later this year, I don't remember. I think it's November. Backer Kid, I believe, is doing an entire Mouse Ritter month, much like the Mothership month that they did. So,
I kind of want to run more Mouse Ritter, so that would be good for me and my table. So
I want to run Mouse Ritter. I was trying to get people at work that are kind of into TTRPGs to play Mouse Ritter with me, but like everyone keeps getting fucking pregnant and having babies and shit. But keep your genes in your jeans, kids. This is the game that I always convinced him to play because I was like, you don't want to play 5e. Fucking trust me. Play a better game, Mouse Ritter. There's 2 games at this point that I've decided, 3 games that I've decided are the 3 best intro games, in my opinion, that I will always use from now on forever to intro people to TTRPGs.
Shadow Dark.
Yeah. Shadow Dark. The OSR. No, it is Mouse Ritter, in no order. Mouse Ritter, Perils and Princess, and Heroes of Cerulean. And if I was going to pick a 4th one, it would be Tunnel Goons into Advanced Dungeon Goons. Yeah. As a way to kind of, if they want to get more into like the kind of like D&D-ish, do Advanced Dungeon Goons to give them those concepts. But those are the 5 games that, in my opinion, are the best intro games to tabletop role-playing games in no order. Tunnel Goons, Advanced Dungeon Goons, kind of as a pair. Mouse Ritter, Perils and Princesses, and Heroes of Cerulean.
Fucking love Tunnel Goons.
Tunnel Goons is, we talked about this before. The only reason it's not in the best games we've ever reviewed or anything like that is because we never reviewed it. We had our old Nate Dream episode But we didn't go over it. We just did advanced Dungeon Goons from
But just imagine we
Jacob
gave it a
Fleming.
bunch of 10s. Just imagine that. So
And it is the game that broke my brain. It is the game that made me go, oh wait, what? Like,
you need
not D20.
so little to do so much, you know.
It's incredible. It just like everything Nate Dream does. Like, honestly, Nate Dream just makes shit that he wants to make, and then does whatever the fuck he wants with his like awesome family. Like, they're like, if you've never heard of them, trust me, they're your favorite game designer's favorite game designer. Their adventures are the best adventures out there, period. And everything they make is gorgeous. The art is gorgeous. The design is gorgeous. They're just like peak ttrpg person.
I will say, as someone who runs a lot of adventures at my table, like pre-written ones, I have a lot of opinions, and I have a lot of issues with a lot of adventures. Never really had one with a Nate Dream adventure, though. They've all been like, yep, they run really well. There is no if this happens, then this happens. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
the whole point.
You said this the other day. I was like, that's so true. There's none of that. It's like, here's what's here. And how they interact with it is beyond
up to them. That's the thing.
Up to them.
Nate
also,
literally had
my favorite like tavern location in location ever, the Moldy Unicorn. It's amazing. It has like a D20, or I think it's just maybe a D20 table for things that are happening when you walk into the tavern, and it's fantastic. And it created like a bunch of like emergent like stories that happened because we'd walk into the tavern and a random thing would be happening, and my players would be like, cool, let's fucking go with this, what's happening, you know, like celebrating at a retirement of somebody who works there. They join the party and cause a ruckus. We're no longer talking about Mouse Runner, apparently. We're now talking about
we're gonna tangent forever, but anyway, because Nate Dream is fucking again, their shit is some of the best shit out there. I mean, Nate Dream and Adam Bass, in my opinion, are the best people that do this, especially if you like emergent style of play. And Nate's adventures are exactly that. We talked about it. They've put out this kind of like little like ethos kind of thing before, and it's all about emergent gameplay, and then they live up to it. And that's one of my issues with the people in this space, and we'll say it right now, is you motherfuckers that talk shit and then don't live it. Like, oh, why are there dice in games? And then you have 10 dice games that you've created. Shut the fuck up. Like, it's so anyway.
It's so funny that you were now like leaning into talking about stuff, because
it's
for
just
so
dumb.
long I've been like, fuck people, and you've been like, no, let's not do it on the show.
No, I don't give a fuck anymore. Like, talk shit, and if you actually live up to it, you know, go for it. But if you're gonna talk shit and then literally be like, oh, like no one makes adventures anymore, and then like you don't have like adventures, like shut the fuck up. Like, if you like, there's just some people that are
talking sweet about Chief Keef again.
It's so dumb. There's people that are just contrarian dumbasses. Like, it's just so asinine in this space, and whatever.
Moving on.
And I'm not talking about the person who said the adventure thing. It's a completely different person who is an asinine, whatever. But the point is, Nate Dream stuff is amazing, and it's because it allows emergent things. Like, go into the room, describe what's in the room, describe who's in the room, and then let the players make the story. Like, that's it. Anyway, was that one of mine? Let's do one of yours. Which one do you want to do? You're muted. Oh, no. So let's do that one last, because remember we said that was the one that's like, is it not? You're still muted.
No, I'm not. I know what you're talking about. I'm just very quiet. Okay, then let's do a solo game by one of our best buddies.
Yep. All right. Okay.
So, my next pick is obviously going to be the amazing. This is probably not a surprise because I constantly, this is one of my favorite games. 12 Years by the glorious Max Moon of Max Moon Games.
Max Moon Games, now an imprint of Flaming Hand.
Is that what it is now?
Are you unaware of this? Yeah, you know, people that did Black God's Kiss, like they merged, and now Max Moon is an imprint of a bigger company. Yeah.
Wow. 12 Years, a solo game. One of the only solo games we've ever talked about, because this is a solo hex exploring and dungeon crawling game with RNG generation of what you will come across and what happens. I have a beautiful limited edition 12-year hardcover.
How many of those exist?
There's only 2 of this version. They're the Weekly Scroll Edition 1 and 2. I think this is the Weekly Scroll Edition 2.
Yeah, I have Weekly Scroll Edition 1 of 2. Yeah.
And then I also have next to me, I have the box set for the Demon Lord expansion.
Do you want me to grab my stack of 12 years? I officially am the owner of more 12 years than anyone in the world because I own stuff that Max doesn't even own anymore.
Yeah, I just think that this game, you know, I love playing at the table, but I love like exploration and I love dungeon crawling, and sometimes there's not anybody else around but me. And I think that the mechanics for doing those things in this game are like unparalleled. First off, the way they're written is they're obviously been tested to hell. So Max knows what's going to happen, or has accounted for many like edge case scenarios. You can play this adventure and it's like brutally difficult. And I think I've only succeeded. No, I don't think I've succeeded one time in placing the crown on the lich. I'm bad at stuff.
I have. I've never beaten Demon Lord, but I've
never beaten Demon Lord. I've fucked that up so many times. Although I make bad decisions too. But yeah, I just think it's an endlessly fun game that like you can play on your own. Like for a while, me and Abigail were going to coffee shops in Dallas before we moved, and I just bring my little green 12-year 12-year like little mini book that I could fill out, and I'd play while we were like sitting and having coffee. It's just such a fun game. I also really love Max has this like is very inspired by like Fey legends, like Fey folklore, and not in like the Tolkien-esque elf way, but like the actual like weird and fucked up Fey that will like kidnap you for years.
Don't make a deal with the Fey.
Don't make a deal with Fey. Yeah. Listen, if a Fey Lord ever asks you to come dance for them, say no, because you'll dance forever.
Don't say anything. Just leave, please.
Yeah, just leave. Don't make eye contact. Just leave. Yeah, I think this game is great. I think the random generation is fun. I think when you get locked into it, you can really get the mechanics down, and you can move fairly quickly. You know, but I just love this game. It's my favorite solo game. I mean, it's obviously not like a journal entry solo game, which I do also like, but I love this game.
We've talked about like I'm not I can appreciate the solo journaling games, but I like solo adventure games. Like I don't have the thing. So this is my travel journal. This is what like when I know I'm gonna go for an appointment, I take this to work sometimes, and this is what I've created. So this is literally just all 12 years. What it is a notebook so I can take notes. And then I have, let me get back to here. So I have a notebook for taking notes. And then in here is 12 years. And then in here is the Demon Lord expansion. And then here is my campaign notebook.
Yeah, campaign notebook. There we go. Yeah, that's the word I couldn't think of.
And then what's also in here is the printed out quick rules, so you don't have to flip through the entire book. And then series of character sheets that are like filled out from playing. And then a couple extra notebooks in the back for if I like want to draw or like take notes while I'm doing it. So my travel notebook to like just go exist in the world is 12 years plus notebooks. So that's I agree. Yes. At any point, I'm just like, I'm bored. I'm going to play some 12 years, you know? But it's incredible. And for those that aren't aware, there's a new 12 years coming out. Because so far there is 12 years, or the Demon Lord expansion, there's a village expansion, but this is going to be the first one that isn't really like an expansion, like it's a whole new thing. It's 12 years at sea, which is dropping next week. So maybe new format. You might hear from somebody sometime that I need to talk to you about. No, I think we did. We're good, right?
We did. Yeah, we did. We have it scheduled. So.
We have a schedule. So that's 12 years. Seriously, like on top of 12 years being like the best solo game out there, period, in our opinions, Max is also probably like the coolest person ever. Like easily like one of our best friends of the show. Yeah, just an incredible, awesome, intelligent human being that is just like both kind and weird and awesome and in all in equal measures, you know. And love them to death. Just a genuine and wonderful human being. So yeah, so that's 12 years. All right. It got a 38. My next best, this is my last one, best / favorite, Trophy Dark. Unsurprising to anyone who knows my edgelord ass. Yeah. Trophy Dark is incredible. And I'll say this flat out, I don't like Trophy Gold. It's fine. But I think that it subverts all the best parts of Trophy Dark. So Trophy Dark is like a 2d6 game built on Forged in the Dark and Cthulhu Dark, where you lose in the end, and it's basically you adventuring into deep dark woods and slowly going crazy and dying, or anything like deep dark woods, right? And you know from the beginning that you're not gonna make it out, so you can just embrace the descent. Right, and it's fucking incredible. First of all, the art is gorgeous. The mechanics are amazing. The way that the mechanics work on top of like the story building aspect of being able to be like, people can like offer you a deal for you to be like, oh, risk this, and if it goes, you'll get this, but this bad thing happens, is an incredible way to bring everybody into the storytelling. It was originally kind of built as a Simba room. In the world of Simbaroom, like way back in the day, and you can kind of tell that even in like the modern version of like just if you look at this versus you look at like Simbaroom, you can tell a little bit, but it's just an incredible dark fucked up game where again like you play to lose. So you can just embrace that, and it's incredible. We reviewed this together, which kind of sucks because I do think that Trophy Dark is, in my opinion, better than Trophy Gold. What Trophy Gold does is basically in Trophy Dark you can't fight the bad guys, like you just can't. You will die, like because fighting big bad monsters you will die, right? Trophy Gold adds in like a hunt mechanic, adds in like a currency, adds in the ability to fight monsters and stuff, and really kind of turns it into more of like just a dark adventure game, not like what I think Trophy does best, which is again like the play to lose aspect of the game. And that's Trophy Dark. I like it. I've never not said that I'm just a very predictable edgelord piece of shit.
We actually did play this on the show too on Side Quest episode 7. We played A Warm and Pleasant Hum.
Michael Van Vliet, right?
Yeah, it was great. We had a great time. Incredible. Our characters were terrible, and I think I turned into a were-rabbit at the end, and or a were-jackrabbit, and I made it out.
Didn't I abandon you guys and make it out?
I think you did. Yeah. So, which was very Trophy Dark to like abandon your comrades to survive, you know?
Yeah. I'm looking through this again, man. I should not give them just episode number. I should give them the searchable trophy. So we did Trophy Golden Dark together and it got a 41. But it should be higher. I don't know how the fuck we gave for art a 7. The art in this is incredible and the layout is incredible.
Well, we have a new format. Maybe we'll revisit this one.
Yeah, but anything that gets 40 or higher is in like the top 10 games we've ever done. So 41 for this one. The art and style should probably at least be an 8. Probably a 42 for this easy. And again, the high score we've ever given out is a 44. So not that our opinion fucking matters to it, but you know,
matters to me.
Yeah, it matters to me too. So anyway, so that's Trophy Dark. An incredible game. Jesse Ross, the Gauntlet. You can get like the box sets. I have the whole box set with Gold, Dark, and Loom. And then in the living room, I have like the card set that they put out too. That's still in the plastic, and I've never even opened it. But a bunch of cool dice, with it too. It's incredible. Trophy Dark is easily one of my favorite games, and I wish more games played to lose. It really lets you kind of like dive into that instead of like the natural. Doesn't matter how hard you try. There's like a natural inclination to like want to win and want to survive, but knowing you're going to not make it out really makes it fun to kind of wallow in that. Sometimes it's nice to wallow.
Yeah, I be wallowing.
You be wallowing. What's your last one is one we've looked at a little bit, and then we'll do the other one.
My last one is one we played recently. So
yeah.
That's
So
right.
what?
Shocking. No one who's ever heard me talk on this channel. My last game for me that we'll talk about, I think there's one more technically we'll talk about as like an overview kind of one, is Vaults of Varn by Leo Hunt,
Hmm.
who was just on last week playing this with us, which was a delightful treat because I actually didn't know that was what that episode was. Ryan surprised me because I love Vaults of Varn. I love this game. It is a fantastic, like from a narrative standpoint, it takes place in a very bizarro, weird world that I can really sink my teeth into. It is like a science fantasy, ultra far future. The sun is red and slowly burning out. You're in a blue desert ruled by an uncaring government that isn't even really in the desert, that just kind of claims it as part of their mini lands. And you play as a bunch of fucking weirdos trying to survive and find odd like techno magic items and become better and make it through every day in Varn. I just think this game is, first off, I love the blue motif in the omnibus. I think the zines are great, and I'd love to look at them more. I don't own them. I have number 4 actually because that one came out more recently. But yeah, I think.
I can't believe you didn't buy them. Eco over at Lost Bay had like whole bundles of like all of it together. I wonder if he still does.
That?
You might be able to grab all 3. I think Leo might even have all 3 back up on a shop too.
Ooh. Yeah, maybe I'll do that then. But yeah, I think that this game is like tremendous. I think there's enough mechanics in this for me to enjoy it, but not so many that I'm inundated by like technical shit to do. And it has the best map making procedure that anyone's put in anything at any point in time. I have also used the 2nd edition map making procedure, which is very similar. It just adds a little bit to it. I'm really excited for the 2nd edition. I think there's a lot of new cool stuff that doesn't add mechanics, but just builds on what's already there. I just love this, and I don't follow like a ton of Patreons, but I follow Leo's Patreon. I love everything that comes out for this game, in this world, for this lore. I'm really in love with it.
Yeah. Barn Slabs. We didn't really announce that was coming out because again, that was a surprise for Hunter. I've been talking to Leo for quite a while, got it all scheduled, and me and Hunter were just like chilling in a Zoom call when Leo popped in. So it was fun that I got to do that for Hunter, but we didn't finish that adventure that Leo wrote for Vault of Varn 2E, which is coming out, I believe, into July. But me and Leo, remind me to talk to you about this. We've been chatting about, we were all talking about doing a session 2 of that. So a little bit closer to when the campaign drops, we're going to try to set up a session 2 to continue with that adventure. I lost my sticky notes, I think, but I took pictures of them, so we'll be able to continue my adventure with my little guy. But yeah, so that's Vault of Varn. So yeah, let's talk about your last one that was like oh yeah, kind of the last one, but not the last one.
It's kind of the last one for our favorites, and I think this one, it's I couldn't find my zine. I have the original zine somewhere in my bookshelf of other zines, but the hard thing about zines is that you can't really tell what they are from the side. But yeah, Into the Odd by Chris McDowell. It's just such like a foundational game for like the indies part of the scene that I'm really attached to, and I've really enjoyed. I love Into the Odd. I love the mechanics of it. I mean, I think specifically like Into the Odd itself in the remastered, I really love the setting as well of Bastion, this kind of like horrific, like turn of the century pseudo England, where it's like industrial horror surrounded by like a cosmic horror world. It just really grabs me. I also think that the remastered book is beautiful. It's simple. The art's amazing. Shout out Johan. I love this game. I've run the adventure in the book, as I often do. Yeah, that's right. If you're putting books out, I'm the guy who's run the adventures. I enjoyed the adventure in the book. It's this like almost mega dungeon. It's got so many layers that you can leave and come back and leave and come back, and things will kind of change.
What is it? The iron
coral. Yeah.
The iron coral. Yeah. We played Into the Odd on stream too when we did Wigmaker's Fingers.
We did, and that was great.
Yeah. I got the finger thing. mini.
Horrors from Beyond
I want to get like
Reality.
I want to get like a plaque here that has
Yeah.
like finger thing, like right there. But yeah, because the creator of that does art, does physical art. And they Maximum Games. They crafted this, and I got it as an add-on on the Kickstarter for that. So so we have got to play that, and it was incredible, and the adventure was incredible. So yeah. So I think that's the end of our what we consider to be the best / favorite games that we've looked at here on the show. A little recap of that. It is, in our really shitty opinions, it is Into the Odd from Chris McDowell, Vaults of Varn from Leo Hunt, Black Sword Hack from Kobayashi, and 12 Years from Max Moon. And then Mouse Ritter from Isaac. I'm gonna be terrible with this. I thought it was Isaac Williams. Isaac Williams from Losing Games, and put out by Games Omnivorous. Necronihilus from Anavas, and Trophy Dark from Jesse Ross and the Gauntlet. So those are, in our opinions, like we said, the top like 6 or 7 best / our favorite games we've looked at here on the show. We couldn't make up our minds, because if we said best, it might be a different 3 for me, and if we said favorite, it might be a different 3 for me. But because we kind of like met in the middle, these are the 3 that I think are that. So the next we're going to talk about is what we consider to be some of the most underrated games that we've looked at here on the show.
And let's qualify this with that we're like specifically a tabletop game like review channel that really only talks about like indie and underrated games. So
Yeah.
listen, if it's on our channel, it's probably not the most popular thing that's ever been released of all time. But these are our picks for most underrated.
Yeah.
These
are ones that I would say we think are like the best games we've looked at that like more people should be playing. You know what I mean? Like, well, which one do you want to start with? Do you want to start with the C one?
Oh yeah, we should definitely start with the C one.
Yeah. Here we go. First one we're going to talk about, Cyber Metal 2012. Why the fuck aren't you playing this game?
Why are you not playing this game?
This game is easily one of the best like cyberpunk games out there, but does it in a very, very different way.
But it's like definitely not cyberpunk in like a dystopian way.
It's cyberpunk in an almost like anarcho, like it's whatever not dystopian is. It's weird. So basically
it's an anarchist utopian, like
utopia. Utopia, the opposite of dystopia. Yeah. So what is this? Cyber Metal 2012. Long story short, you play as a citizen of Pentagram City. Pentagram City is walled off metropolis, ravaged by crumbling technology, past war, and the after effects of satanic rituals. Long story short, like Reagan gets murdered on stage, and a pit to hell opens up, and the city of Grand Rapids, Michigan, is enclosed in like basically like a portal. It's kind of like Blood Blockade Battlefront. If you've ever seen that extremely underrated manga or anime, where it's like a bubble, it's like a hell bubble on one specific spot. But as we were saying, there's also Reagan dies in it, which
is thick,
if only
you know,
if only we could have got Reagan and spared JFK. It's this weird kind of dystopia because like hell powers everything, so you don't really need to worry about an electric bill. Like basically you don't need to worry about a lot of like life issues. So if you're just kind of chill and are okay with demons and mutants and shit, you can kind of live fine. But also if you die, you just get like re-sleeved and spit back out.
Yeah. You have you can make little save points in it, you know?
Yeah. And one of the coolest things too is like the game lets you go from as big or small as you want. Like if you just want to run like a punk show in a local like broken down garage or something, that can be a whole adventure. Or if you want to try to like close a portal to hell, you can like try to make that as an adventure, and you can go through any kind of scope within the city to do that. The book itself is absolutely stunning. All the art was done like in person with like weird stuff. Like I remember seeing Adam paint this, and he literally like used like broken computer parts dipped in ink and shit, and then scanned it in, and then did it up. And it's also it's like A5 but sideways, which more books need to do. Like it fits, like you can definitely tell that's on your shelf because it's different than all the other ones. But yeah, Cyber Metal 2012, Adam Vass. It's a cyberpunk anarcho utopia. It's just incredible. It's an incredible fucking game. I think that this one kind of got the shit into the stick where it came out when Kickstarter was dropping its like, we're moving to the blockchain bullshit. So a lot of people put stuff out on like BackerKit or various sources before BackerKit was really like as big as it is now. This one on
GameFound.
Yeah, this one on GameFound, and GameFound is very much more about like board games and skirmish games and stuff like that.
Also, now a couple people put stuff out on GameFound, and I've noticed now that
no one does anymore.
Does so.
But what does is board games and skirmish games are extremely good on GameFound. But BackerKit has found its feet, and you can really make obviously millions of dollars on BackerKit now, and it's only going to get better and better. I don't know if you noticed that Kickstarter is now releasing its own pledge manager now too. Finally realizing that BackerKit's coming for them, which good. But I think this suffered from being on GameFound, not getting the exposure that it really deserved, that it really still deserves. The game is incredible. Like if I was going to play a cyberpunk game, I would play this. And then I would do probably Cyborg. Yeah. And then maybe a game we'll talk about next
traditional
week.
Dystopian cyberpunk, cyber metal more of like a punk anarchist in a weird like past future tech world, you know? Like,
yeah.
There's technology there. It's weirdly like archaic and futuristic, you know?
Yeah, which is awesome. I mean, for cyberpunk, I definitely pay this because it really leans more into like punk as in more like you know, like the Ramones and shit kind of punk, where Cyborg definitely leans more into like the metal side of punk, you know what I mean? Like but yeah, incredible fucking game. I mean, you could basically say this about every one of Adam's games, that they all deserve to be way fucking bigger than they are. But Cyber Metal especially, I think, is an incredible fucking game that I think a big part of it was being put out on a less than beneficial crowdfunding, you know, push that it really didn't get the scope that would be better. Next one we're gonna look at is 17th Century Minimalist.
A classic unknown game.
A classic unknown. This is a historical low fantasy OSR rulebook. This is Andre Novoa. This is Games Omnivorous. And one of only, I think, two games that Andre themselves put out. I believe, I could be wrong. But they also did The Job, which recently became a box set with Exalted Funeral. But 17th Century Minimalist is a very rare, hard to find. This cost me more than it should have. And I did get all of it. But basically, this is a low fantasy historical setting. You know, it's Europe somewhere in the 17th century and all the things that come from that. It's early modern Europe with low-life vagrants and vagabonds and stuff. And the following games influence the game: The Black Hack, Lamentations, which, you know, Troika, Sharp Swords and Sinister Spells, DCC, and Mothership. So that's it. It's incredible. A lot of the mechanics in it we've talked about are just like, man, people should really steal the way armor works in this, you know?
Yeah.
But also the
conflict. I love the conflict rule in this because like it very much takes away from like, oh, conflict is combat. Like, yeah, it can be, but it could also be like you could have a fucking skate off with somebody. You could do a battle of the bands, you know, like it's a very open format for how you interpret conflict.
Yeah, and I also like that it's like it's just, there's not a lot of games that are just low fantasy historical games, like because everyone that does kind of goes, but hey, there's also magic, like, you know what I mean?
Oh, sorry,
like
I'm tripping. I was talking conflict from
I was gonna say, are you sure that that's a thing?
Yeah. I'm still sorry. the medicine for my cold is kicking in, and I'm in weird headspace now. So
Yeah. So it's a little bit different here in 17th Century Minimalist. I was scrolling down the combat to be
Sorry.
like, did I miss something?
no, I'm dumb.
No, but it's I really love that it is just a low fantasy historical game, because like I said, very rarely do you just get that, because no matter what, someone always is like, but it's got dragons, oh, but it's got magic, oh, it's Baroque, but it has like fey spells in it, you know what I mean? Like there's always a little bit whatever, and it's like, no, this is literally just low fantasy historical 17th century Europe. So it's incredible. It's hard to find. I think you can still get the PDFs maybe from Games Omnivorous. But it's a wonderful game from Andre, and again, an extremely underrated game that is mechanically extremely interesting, and setting wise, I mean, it doesn't really have one, but like gives you all the touch points for it.
Yeah, but like you like for this game, if there's a historical like happening that you find very interesting, like you could play that out in this. It's really interesting. We actually played one a 17th century minimalist adventure in Helm with John.
Yes. Yeah. We did the inn, like where people just kept coming in.
Yeah,
it was such a good adventure.
I'm like, can we kill these people any faster?
But yeah, I mean, yeah, John introduced me to this system. Like when we did Helm, I had no idea what this was. Then I read it and I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. I need it. And then I spent way too much money on eBay. But yeah, so let's cruise through some of these last ones. I mean, let's just get this one, get it out of the way. But like we talked about Adam stuff, so let's talk about another one of Adam stuff. Soul Burner. In my opinion, the best Borg outside of Merkborg. Soul Burner is
a meaningful Borg hack. Yeah,
it's a meaningful Borg hack. Unlike many Borg hacks, let's be honest. No, I'm not going to be honest. I like Merkborg, and I love the people that make it. So anyway, so Soul Burner is basically a mashup of Merkborg and Necronautilus, which literally the two highest scores we've ever given out are 44s for Merkborg and Necronautilus. This one also was crowdfunded differently. I think Adam went through his website for this one. So it also didn't really kind of get the stretch that it deserves. I think a lot of people in the Borg space, if they would latch onto this, it would get way fucking bigger. It's incredibly dark. It's incredibly fucked up. It's incredibly interesting. And it definitely adds enough like Necronautilus into the Borg base to
absolutely
really make it sing in an interesting way. Because Merkborg, however much I love it, like the vibe of Merkborg is always going to be better than the mechanics of Merkborg. Merkborg is a great, simple game. And that's why it's super easy to hack and super easy to run and play and super fun, because it's not difficult. It can get out of the way of the adventure and things like that. But this really adds so much more into it. So what is Soul Burner? Consumed by fire, your skin melted, blood evaporated, brittle bones dissolved, your once graceful body now reduced to dust, your spirit has been violently detached from your mortal coil and cleansed of your experiences, short of a few profound memories and glimpses into reality itself. You are dead. Death does not want you, but fate surely does. Your soul is rejected by the forces of the afterlife, but by means mysterious and magical, your energy lives on, now contained in an ashen heap that warps to your will. Your cinder corpse tingles and twitches, constituting some makeshift form ever mutating. You've been given a rare opportunity to scour the planet in search of answers, personal and cosmic, writing the timeline with every vicious encounter and shaping the future itself in brutal brushstrokes of blood and burns. So basically, your body is just a burnt pile of ash that has come back from the dead, kind of as a revenant to right wrongs and figure out what the fuck happened to you. It's incredible. It definitely gives me, I mean, obviously, like, it's hard not to think of Fire Punch when that's all I imagine when I think of this is just Fire Punch.
I don't know what Fire Punch is.
You know Fire Punch? You know Chainsaw Man?
Yeah.
Chainsaw Man, or Fire Punch was his, like, manga before Chainsaw Man.
Oh.
It's about a dude who has the ability to, like, heal super fast, but then, because people have, like, abilities, but another guy's ability was just to, like, once he set something on fire, it was always on fire. So he gets set on fire by that ability, but also heals really fast. So he burns forever in permanent torture, burning alive forever. Yeah. And it's just as weird and fucked up. Fire punch, man. It fucks super hard. It's really incredible. Super dark. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, I can leave it up for later.
Yeah. I can't believe you don't know Fire Punch, man. Fire Punch is so good. But anyway, that's it. And it uses dice and tarot cards and stuff. Like, it's just such a good fucking Borg. It's an incredible hack of, again, Merc Borg is the highest score we've ever given out. It's a 44. And Necronalis is a 44 out of 50. They're both incredible, and this mashes them together and adds tarot cards and shit. It's an incredible game. Again, much like Adam stuff, like, just incredible shit that more people need to be talking about and more people need to be playing. And this is easily one of them. I think they recently put all of their stuff out on what's it called? Tabletop Bookshelf. A cool, like, newer-ish, like, distributor that's doing a lot of really, really great stuff. And Soulburner is one of them that's over there. So anyway, so Soulburner and all of Adam's stuff, go fucking grab that. Next one. Let's do this one. This is one of the ones that you picked. Gym Room Games. Yeah.
Yes, High Magic Low Lives. It's so funny. I wanted to talk about this game for so long, and it's extra dark in my room suddenly. Oh, because it started raining. Here, let's do this real quick. Secondary light source. There we go. I look like a human again. I'm not in a cave, guys. Yeah, I want to talk about this for so long, and we finally went through it, and Ryan's like, oh, this is great. So High Magical Lives, another great, like, 2d6 system, very much a different take on the mixed success and of PBTA, you know.
Yeah. PBTA made using the Black Hack, forged in the dark.
Yeah.
Three of our favorite books.
Yeah. Three of our favorite books. One of those I'm really into. Yeah, you play as, like, magic school dropouts, essentially, in a world ruled by, like, a magic aristocracy. And the original conceit of this game is, like, why would you work for the rich people to squeeze more money out of the poor? We should just rob the rich people. It is a very interesting game. It is in a modern-esque setting, which I think is very interesting for playing a bunch of wizards. Wizards having cars and cell phones, I think, is, like, deeply interesting. There is interacting with, like, a form of social media on this. You are trying to steal from the rich. You can create these very interesting characters, and the way that the magic works is very open format, which also, if you've ever watched me talk this show and heard me talk about magic, I love, like, an open format magic system that, like, while it is kind of, like, stats do have something to do with it, like, also the school of magic that you pick or the type of magic you pick really does affect how the game will play for you. I think the example in here is that, like, if you're a wizard of turnip magic, melting down a door might be nearly impossible versus somebody who's, like, a wizard of, like, fire magic. Yeah, I think that this is, like, a fun, great game. I love the setting. I believe that they're going to do an actual, like,
they've talked about it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that they've put out for it. Yeah, God, we've talked about this. This is, like, in our top 3 of please make another version of this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, right up there with Bloodbeam Badlands, but we're going to eventually get a Bloodbeam Badlands. So, God, I would love this. But right now, Gym Room is working on Gorm, which is damn, it's a really out there skirmish game. That cool. I've read through and need to sit down and read through again because there's a lot. All right. Let's talk about this one. So Nuked. Yeah. We talked about this, I think, on it was this last year's, I think. It was near the top the entire time. Nuked is a radioactive knave hack. This basically is a post-apocalyptic, as in, like, the Fallout style post-apocalypse, like rad mutants and shit. But it is a mashup,
bro.
Yeah, It's a mashup of Knave and Black Hack, and we said it over and over and over again. My biggest beef with this was the layout. I really just genuinely dislike this, the whole, like, a lot of the layout stuff. But system-wise, in my opinion, one of the most successful hacks ever. It is so clean. The way it mashes up Knave and Black Hack, it is, like, this is not, like, I pretty much would never play a Mad Max, Fallout style post-apocalypse game. It's just not the genre I enjoy in any kind of media, realistically. And after reading this, I was like, I want to fucking play that right fucking now. The game is incredible. The hack is incredible. I'm not going to dig too deep in the mechanics. Buy the fucking game, right? But it's just if you ever want to mix two games together, read this one and see how well they put everything together, and they take the best parts of both the Black Hack and Knave and make it something original that still you can tell where its lineage came from, but makes it something unique and incredibly interesting and incredibly well written. I think this game is super underrated, and again, one of, if not the best, like, hacks that we've ever looked at, like, mechanically. It's just so clever and so clean and so well done. Really, really, really incredible game. This is from Mac and Non-Dairy Giant. They did put out another like crowdfunder for this, where there's like more adventures and things like that. And it's great. So there's more stuff for it, like better art, better everything for it. But yeah, Nuked is incredible. Highly recommend. You should snag Nuked if you get a chance. Even if you're just like a systems person, because system matters. Yeah. Just to read how well something can be hacked. This is one that mechanically, like, scratches my system itch. All right, let's talk about this one, because the last couple, I don't know if you were there. So Himbos of Myth and Metal from the wonderful Maxwell Lander, over at the Read the Fucking Manual podcast with Aaron motherfucking King, my favorite ttrpg podcast, including ours. Himbos of Myth and Metal. So what's a himbo? What's a himbo?
Anyone can be a himbo.
Anyone can be a himbo. A himbo is what's in the heart, right? Oh. But lore-wise, I guess, setting-wise in the game, himbos are big, beautiful dummies with hearts of gold, right? And that's basically the game. You can be a big, beautiful dummy with a heart of gold, right? The best one ever, whenever I bring this up, is Kronk from
Emperor's New Groove.
The best Disney movie ever. Second best. Lion King and then Emperor's New Groove.
What about Treasure Planet, man?
I like Treasure Planet. I think it's great. It does not beat Emperor's New Groove, though.
What about Atlantis, bro?
Still, I mean, if we're talking about Disney princesses, but Kronk is a fucking himbo.
Right.
And
absolutely.
It's incredible. But the way that the mechanics in the game are incredible, like absolutely fucking incredible. Because first of all, Max is one of the best. Max is like one of the, like, just intellectually, like, one of the best thinkers in this scene, right. That also doesn't just talk out their ass all the fucking time, right? And they practice what they preach and make the things that they talk about, which is really, really fantastic. One of my favorites mechanics here is the window of error. It's this D20. It basically adds a little bit of that, like, quote unquote mixed success to D20 system, so that your system is not just a strict pass fail system, but mechanically, like, based on your stat score, like, it changes the window of error. So whether you're going to get, like, whether if you need an 18 and you get a 17, or if you need an 18 and you get like a 14, that changes. So, like, it's this widening window mathematically, statistically. So intellectually, that's incredibly interesting to add a little bit of that nothing never happens-ness to D20 rolls. And then mechanically, it's clean, it's clever, it's really smart mathematically. So absolutely love that. And then also the stats for the game. Also, the whole thing is like purple, which is really beautiful. Yeah. But the stats for the game are breast, lips, thighs, and hands, and that can mean anything you want it to mean, which is incredible. And I also think one of the incredible things about it too is the life path system, and kind of like how you don't die, right? But when you take wounds, it really you basically like the way it works is like you're as a himbo, you're just kind of like dumb to the world, and you just have like a heart of gold, and everything is great. And you stop being a himbo when you get too many like physical or mental scars that basically like bring you down out of that happy dumb cloud and realize the world is just as shitty as everyone says it is. And so you stop being a himbo when you basically become like too physically or mentally burdened.
If you
by
become too
the shitty
wise
world.
and experienced in the world, essentially, and then failure, you're like, you can't be
you
a himbo.
Stop becoming
anymore.
a himbo, which is incredible. Incredible.
Like
I love
life.
this game. We talked about, did we play this game? I think we talked to Max numerous times about having them come on and
play himbos. I don't know if we did.
I don't think we ever did, but we talked to them numerous times about them coming on and playing this, running this for us. And I just don't think it ever happened. But would still love that. Man, we're encroaching. We just said we're not going to do 2-hour episodes anymore.
Yeah,
we're
this is our special. This is our last long episode, so gear up.
We're going to actually stick to it this time. Let's cruise through these last couple. There's one that you didn't go over that I have said numerous times that you should read, and it's incredible. It is Dead Halt from Zonware. Yeah, Dead Halt is an incredible fucking game. Like, so many people have, this is one that I'll actually get up and grab and show people. For multiple reasons. Because the crazy thing about this game is it's like a tech game where it has its own like very weird, crazy website and stuff like that. And somehow the game wasn't hyperlinked. So let me find my original. So I eventually I bought this as we were reviewing it because I didn't have it physically, and I found it on their itch page. And they obviously knew who I was when I bought it and sketched into the cover now with hyperlinks, because this is one of the like 15 games that we've reviewed that said, why the fuck aren't there hyperlinks? And people went back and hyperlinked it. And that's one of my favorite things, is like our only impact in the space is like a random backer kit comment that says like, the weekly serial guys will be pissed if you don't hyperlink this. And people are like, yeah, we know. But Dead Halt is an
that's fine. That's the impact we make. It's fine.
Yeah, that's totally fine. It's an incredible game. Dead Halt is a role-playing game set in 1996. Gather a crew and try to survive in the megalithic hotel. There's a module for it called Happy New Year, and if you look at these are like screen-printed gold, and they're absolutely stunning. I have this version, and then they put out a new like project. So I got them again, just in case you didn't have them, but I think you said you do have these.
I have just the Death Halt zine, not the...
So, yeah. And then, but the next one that they did, and this is incredible, is there's a bunch of adventures. They put them on floppy disks. So in order to actually access the content, you have to buy or have a floppy disk reader, just so you can access the content to the different adventures. I also got like a t-shirt, which I haven't worn in a while. I need to find. And also I got like 2 of these patches. So if you don't have a patch, I'll send you a patch.
I actually have one of those patches. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just love it. And if you find the website, it's super weird, but it's this really crazy. You make a crew and you go into this hotel. The way that like the inventory system and stuff works, there's like a gacha machine, so you actually like have to roll on like what you get out of the gacha machine and stuff like that. Layout wise, it's absolutely stunning. It reminds me a little bit of like a Die Sugars layout. It's just very clean. I love the way that they do things in bold when it needs to be bold, not when it needs to be bold, and then they have these like big black bars. The beginning of every chapter is a it looks like a floppy disk and stuff. The hyperlinks are fantastic throughout the entire adventure, because at the beginning of each chapter, if I remember this correctly, maybe I'm talking about my ass, but at the beginning of each chapter, there's like a list of what's in the chapter. And you can click on, maybe I was wrong. Maybe this is the one that's not hyperlinked.
Yeah, the unhyperlinked version.
I downloaded the unhyperlinked version. but now with hyperlinks, because it's funny, like the next update they had on this page was like, hey, I was pointed out that this doesn't have hyperlinks, and I've hyperlinked everything, which is incredible. But it's just a really, it's a this hotel, and you get in an elevator, and the elevator could open up on any floor. So you can basically use this game to play any game you want, because if you want to play in like fucking Forgotten Realms or whatever, that elevator could open up in the Forgotten Realms, you know? It's just a really fun, interesting game. The mechanics are incredible. I've never heard anyone talk about it, which is a fucking shame, because it's absolutely gorgeous. It's a stunning game. Mechanically, it's really fun and interesting. This is Zonware Dead Halt. It's great. And again, if you can find the physicals, I love like the screen printed gold.
Yeah,
like,
it is a really nice zine.
It's really, really, really nice zine. And then again, like the fucking floppy disks. So yes, I did go on Amazon and buy a floppy disk reader. We did this one, we did this one, we did this one, we did this one, we did this. Did we just have one left? Is that it?
I think so.
So the last one we're going to talk about is Gangs of Titan City. This is from enable scrolling. This is from Soul Muppet Publishing. This is from I think at least two of the people from Best Left Buried are in here.
Mm-hmm.
Go away, you son of a bitch. But it's Nick Spence, Ben Brown, and Zachary Cox. And it's basically Necromunda, the game.
Yeah.
And it's funny because at the time when I read this, it's an incredible game. I love the mechanics of this game. Like the game that I was working on at the time changed because of this game. Mechanically, it's really, really great. The wound system is great, where you don't have like HP, you just get like scratches or wounds, and like it builds up and stuff. The way that it like you hit and then the things hit back is really incredible. But I wasn't like a big Warhammer head at the time, and I hadn't really read any Necromunda or really knew a whole lot about Necromunda. And now I'm like a big diehard like Warhammer.
We've gotten very far away from that. You are now deep in it.
I am so deep, it's crazy. Yes, Warhammer is my new personality, has been for a while now. But now I know much more about not only Necromunda like the fiction, but Necromunda the game. As much as I loved this game before, I love it even more now because I get it and it makes sense. But the hive cities and all of the different aspects of it, like the rules for the gangs, the Titan City Guide, all of that stuff. It's an incredible game. This actually is a Die Sugars layout. The art is great throughout. It's the same artist that did Best Left Buried. I think that is Ben Brown. And it's great. It is, I mean, Soul Muppet just finished Mad as Hell. I'm very excited for the next game coming out. I think it's called Doom Spiral, which, I mean, just the name, you know, that again, my edgelord ass is unsurprisingly, gonna love that. But this, I kind of think is like one of their, I don't know, probably their second most kind of under the radar game that they've put out. I think the first one that's the least, the one that I think not many people have really heard of a ton is,
Orbital Blues, obviously.
Orbital Blues, obviously Orbital Blues. No, it's the one where the Lost and the Jammed. It's like they ride creatures and shoot guns and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I need to send this picture to Zach, but just off screen here, I have every Soul Muppet thing. It's one entire shelf. So, sorry, Soul Muppet, you can't make any more games because the shelf is full. So cancel Mad as Hell. Stop your stuff. You got to be done now. But yeah, Gangs of Titan City, an incredible game. It's also one of the games in the kind of like Soul Muppet catalog that doesn't use the Soul Muppet system. You know, kind of like, because Orbital Blues, Best Left Buried, Mad as Hell, they all use the same kind of like 3d6, pick the two best, beat an 8 or whatever, and then you pick the two that are your damage, like the same core dice mechanic, obviously like adapted to fit the different systems. This one uses an entirely different system, which is really great, really incredible. So Gangs of Titan City, the other underrated game. So quick recap here of all of the underrated games that we talked about today in our opinions. 17th Century Minimalist, Cyber Metal 2012, Dead Halt, Gangs of Titan City, High Magic Low Lives, Himbos of Myth and Metal, Nuked, and Soul Burner. Those are the ones that if you're going to get 8 games, get those, you know. So we talked about what 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16 games today that are in our opinion what we consider to be like the best slash our favorite slash underrated games we've done out of like the 100, almost 120 we've looked at here on the show. And that's it.
And this is our last 2-hour episode ever. So, unless we play something, obviously, we're gonna play games.
Yeah, unless we play something or really get deep in a discussion. I don't give a fuck if you listen or not.
Yeah.
Again, this is a hobby for us. It's going to stay a hobby for us. We don't make any money off of this. The only reason we're affiliated on Twitch is because it gives us more stuff to be able to do when we stream. We don't make, I think we get like, it has to hit $50 to get a payout. And I think that happens like every 4 months because a couple people just won't cancel their subscription or stop using their fucking Prime. But that's going to continue to be how it is. You don't expect a Patreon. Again, I've given up on stopping you guys from sending us review shit. If you want us to look at your stuff, send it to us. Send it to the Weekly Scroll podcast at gmail.com. Our links are everywhere. We'll take a peek at it. If you want to send us free shit, go for it. I'll find a way to pay you somehow, whether you want me to or not. Again, expect this to say tabletop podcast as soon as I remember to change all of our fucking layouts. But we are expanding our content, shortening our content, switching up what we're doing, and decided we're going to have more fun with it and expand out of the ttrpg space because the space kind of sucks right now. That's the recap. Do we want to say what we're going to do next week? The 2 episodes planned for next week?
No.
Watch the fucking show. Bye.
Bye.